Okay, so again, another little bonus here. Now, should you find yourself after all these videos and you've done all the exercise, and again, I encourage you to do all those exercises at the time, but should you decide that the best decision for you to end the relationship, to separate, if that's what you need to do, then know this. Book in and see me for a consult. Maybe there's a strategy we need to take, because often when we come in to have these conversations, or we don't even know how to have that conversation with our partner to say, hey, it's time. You know, and I wish I could have said that to my former husband, but one day around the table, I just said, are we just pushing shit uphill? And then when it came to the night of the final, one of the steps that got us closer to our divorce, and I said, well, there's the fucking front door. You know, I'm not proud of myself and how I behaved on that night either. But I hadn't dealt with the negative emotions first either. And so we were very, very reactive. And I think when we'd been sitting around, well, I can only speak for me, but sitting around, and we'd done a little bit of counselling, but it wasn't enough. And maybe for us, we had just grown so far apart. Well, I know we had grown apart. And I'm grateful for where I am now. So, and I do, you know, I have love for my former husband because he's the father of my children. And we did have great years together. But if that's all we have together, then that's okay. And sure, I wish I wasn't divorced, but now I get to do the work that lights me up and fulfills me, because I'm having a purpose-driven life and doing what I'm passionate about. Sure, booking holidays and honeymoons might have been a bit easier. Getting the free trips around the world, like I've been so lucky. Sure, that's a different life. But this is the work that lights me up because it needs to be done. And you can read about that in an article in Mind Food magazine that was about finding your ikigai, which is about finding your passion and purpose. But what I really want to say here right now is that if you do need to figure out how to bring it up with your partner, there is a better way. And especially if there's been high conflict, or that we're dealing with a high conflict personality. Maybe you are a high conflict personality, you own it. That's okay. We can work with that. So if that's the situation, sometimes it really just helps to word things differently in certain words and ways to do it, rather than saying, hey, I want a divorce after a bottle of wine or even a couple of drinks, and it ends that way. Because what I do know is the way that you take care of your separation and divorce has a massive, massive effect on how the rest of the relationship plays out. The ongoing co-parenting, that relationships with other friends and family members. I know what that's like when those friendships end and you lose part of your family, when they've been your in-laws, you've had, you know, other sisters and brothers that have been in your life. You know, you're that part of the family. Sometimes those relationships are hard to keep. But if we can treat each other with some respect, with ease and grace and some dignity and some understanding and care and kindness, if you can do your separation and divorce with kindness, sounds crazy, I know, then I just wonder what it would be worth in the long run of how the rest of your year and a day plays out, how the settlement goes down when you're talking about finances, children, access. So here's what I'm going to give to you and let you know how it all works and what the next steps are. So first of all, how you can take care of your separation and divorce. You can come and have a consult with me first, and I can give you all the information that you need, being a mediator, about how it all works. Talk about family law information only, no advice. That's what lawyers are for. So here's a 4-step process. When you want to talk about things, you can do 1, a round table discussion with your partner. Excuse me. 2, you can go and see a mediator. Now, a family dispute resolution practitioner has studied some family law elements and knows how to do some, run the meeting for you. So you use one person between the two of you. Now, the mediator, again, is neutral to both of you, but you both share the costs, and things can often get resolved a lot quicker with much more ease and save you a lot of money and time when it's done through mediation. Now, if you're not working with me, if that's not possible, or I'm not the right fit, which is cool too, then I can tell you some great mediators out there, because my passion is in the coaching. And how I work in this space too is I work alongside lawyers or your financial advisor. And that is the next step, getting some financial advice on how to do your separation, what's going to work. Again, excuse me. And then it's the lawyers. See your lawyers with all that information beforehand. If, unfortunately, you do need to end up in court, which is the last step, you must go to mediation first when there's children involved. And they're the only ones who can give you that certificate to go to court. But I promise you, it is the last place to end up if you can avoid it at all costs. It can take years to get in, and it can cost you hundreds and thousands of dollars. And that's not even an exaggeration, because I've heard those stories. And I've heard stories of people where they think that they've got millions of dollars to fight over. But little did this person know that the more she chewed up with their lawyers, that actually comes out of the equity in the home. And she was not left with her share of $1 million either. It was way, way less than, it was more like $100,000 is what happened. So you've got to ask yourself, what's it really worth? And if it doesn't bring peace and calm to your heart, then maybe it's not the best time. But there's those 4 steps. So it's together, roundtable discussions, see a mediator, share the cost, get in quickly with a private mediator. See a lawyer, get some legal advice, see a financial advisor, get some financial advice, and take that to see a lawyer. And then there's court. So they're the steps forward. Some lawyers, there's some great lawyers out there, and some are adversarial and just don't care about the family. And that's a blunt comment. But the work that I love is I do what the lawyers can't do. I help you with the emotions. I help you manage that, so then you can go and function and deal with the next step forward. You can handle the information and make decisions that you need to make when those negative emotions and that have been taken care of. The brain remembers better because it's not in fight, flight, or freeze anymore. And you're able to think clearer and make decisions from the right place, and not a place of fear and doubt, but from love and trust, and moving forward and creating a new chapter. And it's possible. It's absolutely possible if you want it to be possible, but you've got to want it more than me. And I can also work for you before you go and see your mediator and your lawyer as a bit of a coach too, to help you along that journey as a continued process. So whatever you need to do, I wish you all the very best for you and your children. I really, really do. And I would absolutely love to hear from you. And I really do hope you found value in this series. And if you've got anybody else, again, who may need to hear this, share it around. And stick around on socials and find out more about what I'm doing with the way of workshops and retreats, other coaching programs that are there for you, because I'm always going to be trying to evolve and grow to bring you my best and share the latest news and tips and strategies on how to work. And maybe if you're seeing this, or you know someone who's after the divorce and they don't know how to parent together and they need help too with the co-parenting arrangement, I work with Bill Eddy from the High Conflict Institute in San Diego, and one of his qualified coaches here under the New Ways Parenting Program that really helps couples who've had conflicting parenting before really come together and repair that and know how to communicate together. Maybe you don't want to be best friends with your former partner. I don't know, maybe you do, because they're still going to be in your life because you've got kids together. So why not just make it great for your kids? And that's when I think you can do it for the kids. And I know it's been worth it for me. So again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being open and hearing this. Maybe some things you've liked, maybe you haven't, I don't know. But again, I'd love to hear from you, and share this around. Reach out if you need to. Email me, pick up the phone. But I really do wish you a great life and find a way to create a masterpiece life.